All right. So you know what today is? Today is
Chime In Tuesday.
Tuesday. We choose you for Tuesday. I choose you.
I choose you.
Oh, okay. I know. Welcome to our favorite day together on this Tuesday. We bring up things that we want everyone to chime in on and have your thoughts on what's going on, what we have to say. So, what is today's topic?
Today's topic, I wanted to talk about bucket lists.
Not the do list, but a bucket list, which is totally different.
So, I feel like a lot of people have a bucket list.
And they just stare at it.
Or you're in a camp, perhaps, that you think bucket lists are a load of bullshit.
There are people that I've spoken to. It's kind of like those, those image boards where you cut things out and you paste it on the thing.
Vision boards. It was on our...
No. I'm not saying it's BS. I'm not saying... I just, there are people out there that say it's BS. And for me, just on the heels of that, is that I agree. You can't just put a picture up and going, that's going to be my life. No, you got to put the work into it.
Yeah. And I guess, so I really want to know, I wanted us to talk about bucket lists.
Yeah, of course.
And I want you to chime in about what you think about bucket lists. More importantly, what's on yours?
Yeah, and it can be anything. Like, I thought you were asking me the question, but...
I'm going to.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I want to know, but I want to hear from our friends as well.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is on our coffee table.
So Louise picked this up. Is the date in there?
I think so. I usually put the date in here.
No, you did right there. 2017.
November 2017.
And in true Louise spirit and in true Jay style, spirit style C, who has done all the writing in the book?
But that's okay.
Who has somehow managed to not write something in that book? So anyways, we're working on it.
So we're not perfect, no one is.
Nope.
But what I can say is how much joy it actually brings to even start to dream. There were so many years of my life where I didn't really realize I'd stopped dreaming. And so I think I started my first bucket list just before we met.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat down for 10 minutes to put the timer on, and I couldn't come up with a single thing to write down. That was sad. That was sad. Like, how the hell did I stop dreaming? Anyway, not so much judging that, but just sharing that from a point of...
Yeah. So you might be in that same situation. Mm-hmm. So don't be staring at, thinking to yourself that, I'm the only one, or shame, or anything like that. Please, there are countless others that have been in your shoes, and on top of all that, have gotten out of it. So don't even worry about it.
So the joy that it feels, even like starting to dream again, and then the fun stuff like taking action, like looking through it, mm-hmm. deciding on what you're going to do, and then taking action. It's awesome. And so I wanted to maybe share a couple things that I've got on my bucket list. So the thing I like about this particular book...
You might be in a situation of oversharing here. So I have to be quick on the pause button and might have to say, you can't say that, and then back to it.
Well, the first thing I have to show is that I think this was your dad that cut this out.
My father. And yes, I got some bad wings. If you're watching this, I got some bad wings.
Chime in on his wings.
I'm getting a haircut.
I don't know. Maybe people want to see the silver streak in the wings. Who knows? So this is a bucket list book, supposed to write in it and stuff, obviously. But the first thing that just fell out as I opened this, and truth be told, there's a little bit of dust on it. So maybe this is a Chime In Tuesday to, like, for myself, to remind myself to do some of this. Mm. Anyway, this is what fell out. I guess this is on my bucket list. Like, is that not a dream? So,
not my dream. Not my dream.
So it can be something as seemingly silly but joyful as this beautiful display for your shoes. And then the other thing one of the things I've got written on here is to put my foot in both oceans of Canada, so in the Pacific and the Atlantic. I just think that's kind of cool.
And for anyone who doesn't know the geography of Canada, this is not just get in your car and drive. I'll be there in a couple of hours. Canada is pretty freaking large. So
how many hours are we from the East Coast? So we're kind of like in the central-ish, towards the east, but central-ish in Canada. It would take us how many hours to drive to the East Coast ocean? The closest.
Over a day, nonstop.
More than 24 hours?
Over 24 hours.
Okay. And then to go west,
it takes days.
It literally takes days to drive there.
And just for anybody in the U.S., just to give you just so you can kind of wrap your head, we're in Ottawa. If I want to get to, say, Daytona, like I want to get to Florida, it's 24 hours straight driving, nonstop. That, just to give you distance-wise, how long it takes.
Yeah, so that going west is all still in Canada. Anyway, so that's something on my bucket list. I know you've not added to this book yet, but I know you have dreams and things you'd like to add. What's something on your bucket list?
So,
and why?
Hi, best friend.
Hi, best. Hi, friend.
Hi, friend.
I'm best.
And I'm friend. Yeah, we really just did that. All right. So you asked what's on my bucket list. So quickly, I really, truly, truly do enjoy sports, and soccer is a true passion, love of mine, or football. And I'm a huge Manchester United fan. Like all of us bleed red, but that's the name, the Reds or the Red Devils. And I always said I bleed red, and that is my club. And I was there for the glory years, and I'm been part of the shit years, and they're my team. And I've always said, and I said this like when I was in my 20s, I always wanted to go to Old Trafford and see United play. And I said on my 50th. Prior to that, I said if I get there before 50, that'd be great. But 50 was like, at 50, you're going. Hella high water, you're going. So I think the universe or the world, or how you want to say it, works in a certain way. And I think I had the means to probably go before. I know I did. But now I'm going at 50, and I will have older children. I'll be with the love of my life. I'll be with friends.
Who's from Manchester.
Who are with, and I don't like United because of that. It helps.
We should say how we met. We met because of Manchester United.
Yeah, we did. But that's another story.
Okay.
So on my bucket list, come on, stay on bucket list. On the bucket list is that I really want to go to Old Trafford and see United play. And one of the most special moments.
Old Trafford is their home field.
Yes, sorry. And they call it the Theater of Dreams. And the one thing that was meant a lot to me to do, there's two things on my bucket list, was to take my family and go to Disney, which we did. And the other big thing was to go to Wrigley Field in Chicago and see the Cubbies play, which we did. And by the way, it was the year they won the World Series. Go Cubbies!
So we need to put that on the list. I love lists. I
does
really
love
like
lists.
checking them off too. Is anyone else guilty of that? You sometimes do something in a day that wasn't on your list, so you write it on the list and then just check it off.
Like, I don't mind writing a list, like say going to the store so this brain of mine can remember everything. But literally, if we're shopping together, which is most of the time, I'll literally hand the list to Louise so she can.
Yeah, but yeah.
I know you like that.
I do. I like that.
Oh.
I'm gonna add that to this.
What?
Add
The
that
United?
The two bucket list items that you had on here. Those are two huge things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for me to do one of mine.
You're saying that you haven't done anything on your bucket list.
The one thing, actually, I've only got one thing on here.
Take dance lessons with Jay. We did that.
We did do that. Okay, I can check that. That was super fun. Well, we only did, I guess I didn't count that because it wasn't just go to a few lessons. It was like really
But we did. But we did.
So I guess I should have changed. So should have been more specific. It's like actually learn how to dance properly with dance lessons. It's not a SMART goal. So the thing I have checked off is see a professional women's tennis match, which I did with my mom last year.
Yeah.
And so that was something my mom and I talked about for years. We talked about it for years and never made it happen. And so when I made this bucket list and I wrote that on there, and I'm like, I said to myself, shit, Louise, come on already. You've been saying that for ages. Like, are you going to do it or not? This was in Montreal, which is only a 2-hour drive from where we live. Right. I can make that happen. And so that's part of the power as well of bucket lists, is that sometimes it reminds you of the things that actually matter in your life, that truly matter in your life, that you want to experience in your life, and that helps you make it happen. And there's some things I wrote down in here already that I've decided.
I could think of one that's not on that list, but there's one.
What?
That happened.
That I did?
That we did.
What's that? What's that?
No, I will say it. I'll tell her off air.
Okay, well that's cool. And so, so the old Trafford. That's one thing. So I want.
Yeah, but that's not really.
What do you mean? It's not bucket list.
No. I mean, that's one thing that it's always been out there to do.
I have on my bucket list. I want to witness the birth of a grandchild. Not for a long, long, long time yet.
Mm-hmm. Boys, long time.
Long time. I have on here that I want to kiss Jay at the top of the London Eye. I've been on the London Eye.
Ever been?
I want to watch a sunset and a sunrise the same day with you.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be incredible.
So some of these things are massive and expensive, and some of these, like we could do that tomorrow if we wanted to.
Yep. Right.
And that's what I love about this. It's fun.
And your bucket list shouldn't be literally, as Louise alluded to, it shouldn't be just handcuffed. Like, oh, everything's expensive and everything is this and everything is. If one of your bucket lists is to take someone special or take one of your children and put your feet in the sand and walk on a beach. Well, it doesn't have to be the Kokomo or some fancy Mayan Riviera place. It can be in a beach somewhere where you live, where there's water somewhere. Yeah.
I want a kayak. I want us to each have our own kayaks.
Mm-hmm.
Like relative to climbing and hiking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. Cost difference huge, right? Anyway, I'm really excited.
Yes.
I want to know. I want you to chime in.
So we want to know what's on your bucket list.
I know what's on your bucket list.
Yeah, and that you're willing to share.
And can I get serious for a second?
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
So this is why I think one of the many reasons the bucket list is important. Okay, so stay with me here. I've got this book because I love books. We all know that. The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. And the author, so I've not been able to get through the whole book yet. It's very moving, touching, and difficult. But I wanted to share with you, I think she was a nurse. She was a nurse. And this is what she gathered from all of the years that she was working with the dying as the top 5 reasons, the top 5 regrets. Regret 1, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Regret 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. 3, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. 4, I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. And 5, I wish I had let myself be happier.
That's pretty profound.
So is the bucket list the answer? No, but it's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I wanted to talk about this today.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I didn't realize Louise was going to pull that book out, and for someone who is essentially at the end of the day has a terminal illness. This is where it's like you get up every single day, and it's like I'm back. Like, I love life. It's like you can appreciate everything around you. You don't take anything for granted. And sometimes you might get caught up in the moment of something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, for me anyways, people just get caught up and they keep rolling with it. Whereas people who either have survived a terminal illness or are living with one can hit the brakes pretty quickly and just stand back and going, perspective. Let's put this in perspective here. And I think that kind of touched home with me because I live my life in a very much a perspective way. I sometimes definitely wear emotion on my sleeve, big sleeve here. But I'm saying is that it can work against you and work for you. And I'm trying to find that good balance of that it works both ways. Yeah. So
you know what to do.
Chime in, comment.
Love hearing from all of you.
Yeah, and thanks for listening to us ramble on.
Thank you for listening.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Friends.
Bye.